Hey everyone, welcome to Piccadilly Stamping. I'm Pamela Pick. So today I was sitting around and I had scraps, and I don't know about most of you crafters, but you may have little scrap boxes of things, like here's some of my whites, but I had a couple of scraps that were just sitting around, and I ended up making this quick little card, and I thought I'm going to share this with you just out of my scraps. So I went ahead, let me get the project box here. We're going to be using the Stitched All Around stamp set, and that comes with a matching die set. And we're going to be using this little circular die, and then this little die that is kind of like, well, I don't know what you'd call that, like where you can stamp something right in the middle. What do you call that, a frame maybe? Okay, so we're going to be using those, and I'm going to be using the thank you from that and the kind of that florally piece. And this is what I came up with. So let's pull out this. Now, so these colors were actually sitting by each other. And the colors that I'm going to be using, this is the new Gray Granite. This was made out of a scrap piece of paper. This is Grapefruit Grove. And this is the Soft Seafoam. So they were kind of sitting around, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a pretty color combination. I'm going to make something out of it. So here we go. I'm going to start off by folding a piece of Whisper White cardstock in half. This is a half sheet of 8.5 by 11, folded in half at 4 1/4. And we're going to do this landscape. And then I'm going to take the Soft Seafoam ink pad, and I'm going to use that for just that foliage, line of foliage that I showed you. I'm going to ink that up really well. And I'm just going to eyeball it kind of on the middle lower right, and then I'll do the same thing, but I'll go maybe a little more left, and then one more time, and I'll go back to the right. So I just stamped kind of that background. Then what I'm going to do is I just have a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to use the Grapefruit Grove. And I love this stamp set. I'm going to ink up that thank you. And I have it upside down. There we go. And I'm going to stamp that there. So isn't that cute? Okay, so since I'm doing a Piccadilly, meaning this is one of my Piccadilly shorts, short videos, I already have one cut out. So I had used the die cut. I die cut out a piece of the Gray Granite. Yeah, Gray Granite. And all ready to go. So that's ready for us. And I'm going to just glue that down kind of in the middle. So you can just see that greenery sticking out. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I just used a 1/4 inch. This is actually a scrap because my original one was just a little bit bigger, but what I had of these little pieces, you know, when you're trimming off pieces, and I'm just going to flag the ends, and you've got just that little bit left. I had it just sitting here. Now, normally I'll be honest, I kind of throw these things out, but it was sitting in the right spot, and I thought, oh, I like that. So I just used the tailored tag punch to make a little flag on the end of these, and I'm going to glue that down. And I think I'm just going to put this kind of I want that up just a hair. going across the bottom. Okay, so then with our pre-cut thank you, I'm going to put a dimensional on that. But before I put that down, now let's see here. I'm going to use a little bit of, this is the copper thread, to add just a little bit of bling to it. Now this time I just need a little bit, but I'm going to go around 5 times. I do like odd numbers, like that. And I did that around 3 of my fingers. So that's about the width I want to use. And I'm going to use a little bit of snail, and I think I'm going to do this one different than the other card. So I'll put just a little row of snail down that I can hook this into. And then once I've got it hooked in, I'm going to just kind of spread it out. And if I want something, I just hook it down in that snail. And that's how I get kind of that fanned look. And I don't think I want that little one sticking out, so I'm going to just hook it in here. There we go. Okay, then take my thank you and put that down here across it. And then I love this leaf punch. It is so convenient, so quick. So I'm just going to punch out a few leaves on this scrap. And then I'm going to kind of wrinkle them up a little bit because they're leaves, they're not flat. Give a little texture, a little interest. I'm going to do it with both of them. And then let's get a mini glue dot. Now we'll stick one back there. And we'll stick one underneath there. Okay, now the only other thing that I think this needs is just a little spritz. And I'm not the best spritzer, I'll be honest. So I'm going to bring in a little sheet to put down. But I think it does add something. So I have one marker that's just dedicated for this because, as you can see, it's kind of chewed up compared to my others. So I have 2 black markers, but this one is just for spritzing. And you just take it and you kind of flick the end of your and now I'm pulling it out. And I don't want to get my fingers on it, but I might have to. Just one moment. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Just that little bit of flicking adds, can you see that? It adds just a little depth and texture. So let me move this aside and bring the original one here. Okay. This Quickadilly was brought to you by Piccadilly Stampin', and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So if any of these products are something that you cannot live out or would like to see other things that I do have an online store where they can be purchased. You can find me on Facebook on Piccadilly Stamping. I have a Shop Now button. It's a blue button at the top right-hand side of the page. My blog is another spot. It is piccadillystampin.blogspot.com. Just remember that there's no G on stamping. On YouTube and on Pinterest also. So there's ways to get to me. So if you have any questions, let me know. But this is a great way to use up scraps. Have a great day. Thank you. See you next time.